All right, what's going on, guys? Hope you all are doing well. So, a standalone zombies game, or even just the idea of that, probably seemed unlikely for years at this point in time. And in fact, I made videos about this very topic around 5 years ago, discussing the probability of a zombies game releasing, a Call of Duty Zombies title that is completely unrelated to any other title, but has all of the past, present, and even maybe future zombies experiences on that. And right now, there's been a lot going on with Call of Duty and Activision the past couple days. If you've been on Twitter and stuff, it's been pretty crazy, and right now we actually have probably the most amount of solid evidence that there is a standalone zombies game coming or something of that nature. And there's a lot to talk about today. I wouldn't even be making this video if I didn't think it was worth it. And essentially where this all originated from was a tweet basically confirming that Activision is unhappy with the way that Vanguard released and was received, and so they made this decision to not release a Call of Duty title in 2023. Obviously, this year we have Modern Warfare 2 coming out, Infinity Ward's next project, but beyond that, we expected Treyarch's title to release in 2023. However, it appears that Activision is breaking the COD cycle for the first time ever. In 2023, we will not have a mainline Call of Duty title release. So what does this mean? This has a lot of implications, and we're going to get into that. So yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into it. So to understand the context of this really quickly, let's talk about this year's upcoming Call of Duty in 2022. Infinity Ward's next project is Modern Warfare 2, obviously, and this has been in the pipeline for a while. Now, in regards to zombies, recently I actually heard that in early development of the Modern Warfare 2 title, there was actually a zombies mode that they were working or at least toying with ideas of, and I guess this was supposed to have zombies at one point in time. Whether it is going to on release is another story. I think there's a big probability all of that content has been cut from the game. And at this point in time, the way Activision has seen Vanguard zombies in particular received, and just Vanguard as a whole, they made the decision to not release a Call of Duty game, a mainline one, in 2023, independent of the Microsoft deal. So what that means is they were already going to, I don't even want to use the term delayed the game, but they're going to they're basically breaking the COD cycle independent of the Microsoft deal. So in practical terms, this means that Call of Duty 2022, Modern Warfare 2, is going to see probably at least 2 years of full mainstream updates and care for the game. And in between, in the meantime, during all of 2023, Activision is working on other projects and other titles to fill the gap. And what this means in particular to me is that somehow this is going to mean zombies. So it's kind of weird because if you guys watched videos yesterday about this topic, you're probably thinking we're not going to get zombies until 2024 because we pretty much got this info in two separate parts. So when the first part of the story dropped, a lot of people made videos saying, oh, we're not going to see zombies until 2024. There's not going to be any new mainline content until then. And realistically, that would leave about a 4-year gap in between zombies content from the release of Cold War to basically what we're going to be getting. But that's actually not the case from what it looks like. A bunch of prominent leakers like Tom Henderson and the like have been claiming that zombies is going to see a lot of content, or at least to some degree its own title, in 2023, in between the years of Modern Warfare 2 and then Treyarch's next mainline game, which they are working on. But as they are still developing something in between, this does appear to be that it's a zombies only title, completely standalone and unattached to any other game. And at this point, I cannot even stress enough how much of a W this is for the zombies community, because a lot of people have been saying obviously Vanguard isn't working for them and they would like to see something in along the lines of a maybe Chronicles 2 released on Cold War to tide them over for a bit while Treyarch's next project is being worked on. But I actually think this is a better alternative. Instead of just releasing a few maps on a game that at this point is technically outdated, and even the original Zombies Chronicles by today's standards is also outdated, it would also make sense to rather have maybe either remasters or ports of the original maps all on their own standalone game. And apparently, if that's what they're truly working on in between titles, that is the best news the zombies community could hear. And I don't want to make this claim without any hard evidence to back it up, especially considering there have been literal zombie Treyarch devs that are tweeting about how the things that they're working on are very exciting and they're unbelievably passionate about them. And also the fact that there is whatever this project that exists. Maybe it's been something that's been worked on for years and just, hasn't had its time in the limelight or any good opportunity to release. It's possible that this zombies only project has actually been in development for for a really long time, but is only now being viable to release. The really tricky part about it is, like, when it comes to remasters of specifically Zombies maps, it's like, what game do you put them on? And I would say that the original Zombies Chronicles really set the precedent for adding it to, you know, its retroactive game. And, you know, the Zombies Chronicles on Black Ops 3 originally, I would say, landed extremely well. And by this point in time, Zombies Chronicles came out in 2017. It is 2022, and I cannot believe I'm saying that. This released 5 years ago at this point, and a lot of people are wanting Zombies Chronicles 2 on Cold War, which, again, is a reasonable claim on the surface, but I really think that isn't going to cut it, and it would be non-optimal for what we could have. Also, we know internally that at least for Cold War, they used things like Doris to test on, and there's been other maps that they've toyed with, especially the Nocturne Toten survival map that was also allegedly going to be released for Cold War. A bunch of these projects have either been ported into newer engines or somehow repurposed to be used in future projects, and I think that's really what's going on. It's very unlikely at this point, like extremely unlikely, that we see Zombies Chronicles 2 in Cold War, more so that we see some of these maps brought back in a full-on standalone game that is supposedly an online multiplayer experience as well, more than just a solo game. Really, the more I think about it, this is the best outcome for the Zombies community. I'm gonna be honest, I would be quite content with the Zombies Chronicles 2 on Cold War. You know, I think it would hold us over for at least a good few months, and to be honest, it would probably be received very well on this game. But in terms of getting an actual standalone Zombies title that we've been really wanting and requesting and talking about for literal years at this point, this is what genuinely makes me excited to talk about it. The potential that a game like this would have and the possibilities that would come along with it, the passion that makes me feel is quite literally the stuff that made me make my YouTube channel from the get-go, right? It's what made me fall in love with zombies to begin with, and I really hope that they capitalize on something like this because they have a golden opportunity in front of them with this sort of, and how these events have played out with Call of Duty recently. And I know that the devs themselves are extremely passionate about what they're making right now as well. Genuinely, nothing would make me happier than to see zombies flourish, and I genuinely think they have a golden opportunity with this, and specifically because apparently this project is not related to any other Call of Duty title, I think that they have the ability to design this engine from the ground up so that it plays the most optimally for zombies, as there are games that, you know, zombies had to be fitted on in terms of its gameplay mechanics. I'm thinking a lot of like Black Ops 4, for example, that maybe, in my opinion, were suboptimal for zombies gameplay. And, you know, you could also say that that might be true of older games, and that begs the question, should these be like remasters, and on what kind of engine should they run on? I've brought up the idea in the past that a lot of these older experiences should play in their original form, meaning they should basically function like the Battlefield Portal ports, if you will, where you pretty much play on, let's say if you're playing Mob of the Dead, you play it on the Black Ops 2 engine, as it were, and you have that gameplay experience for the most part with all its mechanics and whatnot. Instead of retrofitting Mob of the Dead into Cold War's mechanics, it might not play as well, so you should be able to play them on the experiences that they were built on and intended to be played with. I tweeted something a couple weeks ago, kind of just like as a joke, really, but I wanted to see what people think. I'm like, it's been a number of years now, like how long or how much time needs to pass before the Black Ops 3 on-disc maps or just DLC maps are eligible or, you know, let's say candidates for a remaster. And a lot of people are like, don't remaster them. The Black Ops 3 maps are great the way they are, and, you know, they could do with a little bit of modernization in terms of like maybe graphical fidelity and polish, but all in all, the gameplay experience of the BO3 zombies maps are fairly pristine, and like people don't want those to be touched. So the year going forward appears to be we can pretty much just for the most part write off Vanguard. Like they're going to release their content for the rest of the season, but in terms of 2022, I think this is just going to be an off year for zombies for the most part, and then in 2023 we're going to see some kind of zombies project or title that they've been working on, and hopefully there is this ability to have these zombies projects and all of this content that has been released over the past basically decade to be accessible on one game, on one engine, and that everybody can play together. I really do think that would be somewhat of a renaissance for zombies, and that's entirely possible that they would release that in 2023, and then Treyarch releases their next title, which has, you know, I guess what would be the sequel to Cold War Zombies, zombies in 2024. We also know that there's some kind of sequel to Warzone that is also being developed, and whether or not that's going to be released like around the same time or, you know, alongside these zombie projects, which hopefully are sort of what we're describing, we'll have to wait and see on those. But there's literally no possible timeline in which they don't release zombies content from, let's say, 2020, which is Cold War, to Treyarch's next title without anything in between. Especially with the Precedent Chronicles set, I don't think that's even remotely a possibility anymore, and that's completely regardless of the Microsoft deal, which again will probably do nothing but help out at least some capacity of development time with zombies. But yeah, I guess only time will tell, and 2023 specifically should be a very interesting year for zombies indeed, and then also 2024 with Treyarch's next game will be, you know, extremely interesting as well. But I do think that there is a huge possibility at this point, and it's more likely than ever now, that we do see a full zombies standalone title, and hopefully it's everything we're expecting it to be and more. So let me know what you guys think about it down below in the comments. Appreciate you guys for watching. I won't waste any more of your time, but make sure to go follow me on Twitch before you leave. That would be great. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next stream or the next video. Take it easy. I'm gonna go, and peace out.